events like this, the ESFE that's happening, are great opportunities for educators to see what's out there. And the average Indian student today and a parent has global aspirations, right? So a child growing up in a school is not just content with looking for a job in India. They want to go abroad, they want to study abroad, they want to look for opportunities in some of the larger economies of the world, and international schools gives them that leeway and that leverage to.
So, sir, I had a few questions for you. First of all, what gap in the education landscape did TAISI originally aim to fill, and how has the process evolved over the years?
I think TAISI, the Association of International Schools of India, we're now 22 years old. 22 years ago, international schooling was a rarity in India. We had a handful of schools. But then we knew when we started the organization that we will have a lot of schools following the international curriculum coming into India. Uh, Now, 22 years down the line, we are the fastest growing and one of the world's largest international school markets. We are about 1,000 international schools in India. We are adding about 100 schools. We have two major boards, the IB and the Cambridge. We also have the Australian government board that's come in as well. So the gap that we're filling in is get better options of studying internationally. And that gap is what international schools are filling. And on the other hand, international schooling, especially the kind of curriculum and the kind of education that they get, is very relevant to life today. It's not just about academics and mugging up subjects and doing test prep and getting grades and exams. It's about getting competencies and skills which are important. So that's the gap which international schools are filling. And we're very proud that at TAISI, we're able to support this ecosystem and make it one of the most vibrant in the world.
So I can so relate to that. Even I wanted to go abroad for my undergrad, but due to some circumstances, I wasn't able to. So, sir, when international schools across India look to TAISI for guidance, what do you hope they see or expect from the association?
I think most international schools today have origin in an Indian school board. So most of them were running a CBSE or an ICSE school, and then the management sees an opportunity for upgrading their curriculum and the offering for the parents. I think this is where the role of TAISI comes in, where a large part of our work over the past 2 decades has been to make them believe that they have the foundation to start an international school. And the biggest challenge of running any school, not just an international school, is the kind of teachers, the kind of professionals that will be running the curriculum. And TAISI plays a key role as a partner for the IB schools as well as for the Australian board. We support a lot of professional development. In fact, the TAISI conference that we organize, which every year, it's like one of the legendary events, in, definitely in this part of the world. We've been doing it for 22 years, where we bring the best of educators from all over the world who come together and participate. And so the Indian diaspora, the Indian educators get to meet the best in the world. So I think from that point of view, making Indian schools believe, Indian school education entrepreneurs believe that they can run international standard schools, and supporting them with multiple aspects, including professional development. In fact, TAISI also organizes, some very specific events for students. We do the TAISI Sports Meet, which is for international schools. We have a massive platform now, a digital platform for educators of international schools. So these are all the support systems that we've created. It's not just professional development, but online learning, events for children. So all of this kind of helps create that ecosystem and make it stronger.
Okay, sir. So I have a question for you as well. So, is it possible that in upcoming decade or so, will India be able to meet with the foreign standards, and can we have that kind of education in India itself?
I think we already have. So some of the schools that are run in India are among the best in the world. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes, sir.
But the challenge is that we have a massive variation between good schools and not so good schools. And I'm specifically talking about private schools, and I'm not talking about government schools here. And within that, if I look at even the international schools, every school is at a different level of evolution, and everyone's learning, everyone's growing, and everyone's aspiring to be better. So within India, within our own international schools today, we have some outstanding institutions, right? On the other hand, traditionally, India has always had some phenomenally good legacy schools. Every city, no matter which city you go into India, we've had our traditional ICSE and CBSE schools, which are extremely good. So I don't think in any way Indian schools have been lower in standard. We've had some. I think the challenge is, can a larger number of the private schools also learn and emulate? And they don't have to go too far actually. Within their own city, within their own state, if you look, there are some outstanding schools. Uh, I only wish that schools could learn from one another. For some reason, they don't learn as much. And I think events like these, the ESFE's Education Supply and Franchise Show that's happening, the Expo, bringing together educators from different parts of the country. Places like this is where you rub shoulders with other educators, learn from their experiences, and that's how we uplift the standard. So, to answer your question, I think Indian schools, we already have some of them. The goal is to take a larger number of schools to international standards.
Surely, sir. So, what emerging challenges do you see for schools in the international education ecosystem, and how can TAISI help address them?
I would look at more of every segment of any industry always has challenges. So too does the school. But when I look at the year 2025 and 2026, physical schools in their traditional form of the K-12 schools where children go into school are coming back very strongly, because the conversation around online learning has come down. And I genuinely believe that, especially at a school level, children need to have a physical connect. So uh, I see it as a huge opportunity for schools. The challenges are actually less. I think the biggest challenge I would rate is the quality of teachers that are available in this country. And any school and their quality is always determined by the quality of their teachers. There are multiple reasons why we don't have good teachers, because most it's not the most coolest of careers for you to
Yes,
opt
sir.
for. It's not something that somebody is growing up saying, I want to be a teacher. And I think that's the big challenge. How do you nurture the next generation of teachers? How do we support them? And what's very important is to make teaching a viable career option, both from a societal respect point of view, as well as from a career and economic point of view, where it is financially viable. So that's one big hurdle that we have. Otherwise, I think there are huge opportunities in India.
Surely, sir, I can totally relate to that because the teachers these days, most of them are tuition teachers, and then they take up to be, they do their BEd, they do their other courses, and then they become a teacher in the schools, which I feel is the biggest gap that we need to fill. So the last, not the least question I would like to ask is, what do you think about the platforms like ESFE, and how do such initiatives help society, students, and the larger education communities in India?
One of the challenges with the schooling community is the fact that there are all, mostly, a lot of them, I wouldn't, it's unfair to put everybody in the same category. A lot of them are not, connecting, collaborating, learning from one another, right? So within the schooling community, there's a lot of sharing of knowledge, experiences, challenges, failures, and I think that's very important. And on the other hand, there are best practices, and schools cannot be run by themselves. While I head the Association for International Schools, I'm convinced that uh, not every school should do everything. They should look at collaborations and partners, whether it is in pedagogy, whether it is in professional development, whether it's in technology, whether it is in school supplies. These are all areas that a school should partner. Traditionally, they have partnered with a uniform or a publisher, but beyond that, the partnerships have been very limited. I think going forward, the school should maintain the core as an organization, which is the pedagogy, the teaching and learning, and look for a lot of support from partners, from individual education entrepreneurs, from other educational service providers. So, uh, events like this, the ESFE that's happening, are great opportunities for educators to see what's out there. When you don't even know what's out there, you don't know what you can use to enhance your quality. So, I think it's a great exercise in understanding what's happening in the ecosystem of education, to figure out gaps in our own schools, and see how you can fill those gaps with the partners that you can find through events like these. So I think it's a great opportunity, and I would love to encourage old school educators to participate in events like this, because you need to open your eyes to see what's happening in the world.
Surely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was great talking to you.
Pleasure's mine. You're
Thank you,
welcome.
sir.
Thank you.
Registered now.